Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. What's going on, everyone? How are you? Hello, everyone. I'm actually like 3 minutes early starting pre-stream, but I just didn't want to hear another song. I was just tired of it. I wanted to get started. Welcome to the stream. Today is Saturday, August 8th, 2020. Today is a full day of streaming, everybody. Today's a special day because we're doing a variety of stuff. We'll actually be switching games during the course of the stream, which is interesting. We'll actually get to play what I wanted to play yesterday and couldn't because it didn't work, hopefully. It should be a fun day. Alright, first of all, before we even get started, just to warn all of you, I am very tired. Today was a day when I had to get up super early because here where I live, we live in a private community. There is an insurance policy that they pay for on all of our units. And this insurance policy includes a discount if, of all weird things, someone comes by once a year to clean out our dryer vents. I know that sounds bizarre. So basically what this guy does is once a year, they come by with a big vacuum thing, like industrial strength vacuum. And they go into our laundry room, they pull out the tube that's going out the back of the dryer that, you know, siphons out all the air and dust and everything from a dryer when the dryer runs. And they suck all the crap out of it. Okay? I guess what it is this prevents fires. I guess there's a big hazard if you don't clean that out on a regular basis. It could actually get hot and light on fire. And therefore, it's an increased fire risk. And because we do this once a year, we get it cleaned out. We get a big discount on our insurance policy, I guess. So, they schedule it for once a year that this guy comes by in the morning and, you know, zooms all the crap out. Problem is, it comes at 8 in the morning. I don't know why they schedule it for so early, but they always do, every year. And because I am on the very end of the community, I'm either first or last. So, this year, I was first. They came to my door at like 8 in the morning to come clean. Now, you may say, well, Phil, you don't stream till like 10:15. Why is it a big deal to get up at 8 in the morning to go right back to sleep? I have a cat. No, that doesn't happen. Once you're up, you're up. Because once Jasper's awake, the house is awake. There is zero chance of getting back to sleep once Jasper has woken up. So instead, you know, I kind of did stuff around the house. I had a breakfast. I had a bagel with some preserves, fruit preserves on it. Right now, I'm having a coffee. As we do the pre-stream, I'm drinking a coffee because I need it badly. Okay? So, it is what it is. I basically got up almost, you know, I'd say about an hour and a half earlier than I usually would need to. Basically to let a guy in for 5 minutes, vacuum, and then he left. And I was like, wow, amazing, right? So, I am going to probably be tired. I'm not going to lie. That's why I'm drinking a coffee right now. I'm hoping this coffee will energize me to the point where I'll be able to get through today and not have many issues with being tired, but who knows? We'll see what happens as the coffee starts to take effect here. Okay? So, let's talk about what we're doing, because guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been paying attention to all the information here, in regards to this weekend, we had a big change last night. A positive change, which is a good thing. Let's talk about that, shall we? Alright, well, guess what? First of all, today, we're going to be finishing up Destroy All Humans. In reality, I should have finished this on Wednesday, but I didn't because the game decided, in all of its wisdom, even though it's a remake, they did not improve the end of the game. The final stage of this game is a boss gauntlet. First, you have to fight a giant robot in 2 to 3 different phases in your flying saucer. Then once you beat the robot, there's a cutscene, and it makes you fight another boss on foot that has 3 phases. The whole thing, alright, as far as I've gotten, took me about 20 minutes. Now, I don't know how long the phases are of the second boss because I didn't beat it. I ran out of time. You know, I had a half an hour left to play, and I'm like, oh, it's the final stage. This will be no problem. I couldn't beat it. I ran out of time on my stream on Wednesday because of the way they designed the game. They didn't put any checkpoints in, nothing. It's just you have to keep doing it over and over from the start. You would think that with the fact that this is a remake, that they would have actually improved that part of the game. They did not bother, okay? And that's actually why a lot of criticisms of this remake is that they didn't really improve anything. And I guess the way I see it is this. Some games, not touching it and leaving it kind of in its original pristine form is a good idea. For example, Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom, a remake that I played about a month and a half ago. And I really enjoyed it. Even though it's a very outdated game, I can understand its charm. And speedrunners apparently love this game, you know, the original, and wanted a more accurate experience to the original game. So if it's a game where people really are looking for that original experience, right, I get it. Keep it the same. But in this case, the last stage is ridiculous. Why do you need me to have to do a boss gauntlet? Even if I conquer the first boss, and now I have to fight another boss that I don't know how to fight. If I lose, I have to start over and beat the first boss again. Like, that's, no lie, that's 1980s, 1990s game programming. That's back in the day when they didn't have a lot of space on a cartridge. They would artificially inflate the length of a game by forcing you to redo lengthy segments if you died at the end at a boss. There is no reason to do that. And in reality, there's no reason to do that here either. In a game that was made in 2005, nor a game that's remade in 2020. Okay? So, I'll be honest with all of you, I'm kind of annoyed. I know you guys are annoyed too, because people who were here on the stream wanted to see the end, and they're like, extend the stream. I'm like, first of all, alright, I don't know how long it's going to take me. You know, my dinner's ready. My wife is waiting for me to eat with her before she goes to work. And I don't know how long this is going to take. You know? I don't know how long this is going to take. At all. It could take another hour. You know? In fact, I have to keep restarting. What if I get to the very end of the final boss, the second boss, and then I get bad luck and I die, and I can do the whole fucking thing over again? Right? So, for me, it's very frustrating. But, I said, you know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll do it again as a main stream. What we'll do is we'll leave a giant amount of time for me to beat this. So if I just coast through this today and I beat the first boss again easily, and I go right to the second boss and I beat it first try, good. If I beat it in 15, 20 minutes, good. Then Destroy All Humans is done. We can say it's over, you know, here's the conclusion. But I left it so that this way I have tons of time, okay? If this final boss gives me so many problems that it takes forever to beat, I'll have the time to do it. Ample time, alright? There's basically no excuse for me not to beat it today. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how long it takes. And then when I beat Destroy All Humans, we're going to be switching over to the game I wanted to play yesterday and did not work at all, Fall Guys. This is the game that came out about a week and a half ago. No one had heard of it, but a few high-profile streamers got their hands on the beta key and basically made it virally popular. It was then announced that it would be the free game for PS Plus for the month of August, and it's a new release. Everyone freaked out, and everyone ran to play it, and the game hasn't worked all week because the servers can't handle the capacity of people who want to play it. So, be careful what you wish for. Oh, we wish our game would be virally popular, and we'd sell a bunch of copies, and everyone would want to play it. Great, well, now you can't handle it, and your game has not worked all week. So, apparently today, it's working, at least from what I heard. I mean, I checked social media earlier this morning, and it's been saying that it's been working for about 12 hours, but that was about an hour or two ago. So I don't know what's happened in the last 2 hours, all right? But once I finish Destroy All Humans, we'll switch over to Fall Guys, and we will play that for the rest of today's main gameplay stream till 4 p.m., okay? So hopefully it's good. Hopefully the wait and the anticipation is worth it, and it's silly fun, and we have a good time playing it. We'll see. Tonight, the late stream is my continuation of Fire Emblem Three Houses, which last time around when I played on Wednesday night, I had a blast because the whole plot has now flipped on its head. We have fast-forwarded 5 years. The students have grown up and become adults, and we now have seen this cool plot line advance, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen now with the plot. As some people have even said, because of the choices that I made in the game, because the game has branching paths and choices with the plot, a lot of people have never played through the scenario I'm doing, and they're actually going to be tuning into the playthrough from now on because they want to see how this scenario pans out because they've never seen it. Okay? So that's cool. And I hope you guys will join me for that later tonight around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, 2 hours of Fire Emblem advancement. Then tomorrow, we're doing something very special and new. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, it's Avengers time. That is right. Special, super special thanks to a viewer and fan. I don't want to say their name because they didn't ask for that, and I don't want to give them undue attention and then people come harass them or something. Someone provided me with a beta code for the Avengers. Yeah. That's cool. Because I was going to wait till next weekend when it was going open beta, but someone gave me a code to play it this weekend. Okay? So tomorrow's main gameplay stream, we're going to be checking out Marvel's Avengers, the beta. We're going to see what it is. What characters are available? How does it play? You know, finally I'm going to get a nice hands-on with Avengers. People have been asking me, what do I think about it? I don't know. I haven't played it. All I know is what I've heard. And what you hear versus what you actually experience could be two very different things. I've actually heard a few different things. Some people have said the game is basically a co-op beat-em-up. Think like The Division or Destiny, but instead of a shooter co-op, it's beat-em-up co-op. And each character plays uniquely, like the Hulk is a tank-style character, while Iron Man's more of a sniper, flying around just shooting, while Captain America is more of a hybrid melee, but he has half projectiles with a shield. Black Widow is weak, but can move in for massive damage and sneak out. See? So every character basically plays a little bit differently. And I've heard that it could be quite fun, or it could be very, very grindy, boring, and repetitive. So I've heard two different sides of this thing. I've heard criticisms of the camera and the loot system. I guess we're going to see tomorrow how it's going to be, right? We're going to play it together. You guys will tune in while I check it out, and we're going to see what we think about this thing, okay? I'm very curious because obviously we have not had a major Marvel game in a very long time outside of the Spider-Man franchise. There's been nothing going on the entire time of the major MCU movies, even though at the very beginning of the MCU there was like Captain America and Thor. We haven't seen any major Marvel games in so long, like I said, outside of Spider-Man, that I'm very curious to see how this turns out. Will people buy it solely on the fact that it's Marvel's Avengers because we haven't had an Avengers game? Or is this going to tank huge? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. We're going to check it out tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow night, it's Animal Crossing, New Horizons, a fun late-night stream where we're going to be checking out the fireworks celebration that is going on every Sunday night during the month of August for the summer. So I'm excited for that. It's always a chill stream. Then on Monday, we're doing something different again. On Monday, it's going to be Nier Automata starting up. So Nier Automata, I'll play through that. I did 3.5 years ago. But I only did one run. And I think that run, if I remember correctly, was between like 12 and 16 hours. I could be wrong. And I remember liking the game, although admittedly there were some parts of the game that felt very grindy and repetitive because you had to kill a bunch of generic enemies and shit. But I thought it was an alright game. People told me I didn't beat it. There's actually a B-side run and a C-side run and a D-side run. At that point, I was like, I really don't want to go back and replay the game a million times. Okay? So, I never did. And you guys have been asking for me to go back to this game for years and years now. And finally got voted in as viewer's choice. So on Monday, we're going to see. I have not had a chance to re-download the game and look at cloud saves yet. We're going to take a look at that. But I may be starting with the B-side run, or I may have to start with the A-side run and just start the whole game over, because I may not have a game save for this thing anymore. Okay? Either way is okay. Obviously, if I start with the B-side run, that's going to save us some time from not having to redo that A-side run. At the same time, maybe it makes sense to redo the A-side run so that it's a refresher for me, and I remember everything, and I'm better with the controls, because if I'm just doing the B-side run, if I start with that without having played A, I may not even do well, right? So we'll see. All right, we'll see what happens on Monday. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just start with A anyway. And so that's on Monday. Okay? Monday night, Paper Mario the Origami King continues, alright? And that's going to be fun because we have just wrapped up the second area. From what I understand, if we go back to the second area now and just kind of re-explore this theme park we were in, there's optional stuff to do. And I want to do it because this is the only opportunity to do it in the game, apparently. So, it should be a fun stream on Monday night, especially since we'll probably be heading into the third area, which I have no clue what it's going to be. And that should be interesting, alright? Good stuff coming up. Alright, so that's a good variety of stuff. Now, this coming week, alright, I'm going to balance Ghost of Tsushima, which, by the way, we're getting near the end of the game now. We're in Act 3. Chances are we're probably going to beat this game within a week to 2 weeks tops. So probably around middle of August, we're going to be wrapping up Ghost of Tsushima. Okay? I'm going to balance that with Nier Automata. And then if we have a desire to do something different, like let's say people are like, wow, Fall Guys is pretty good. I wish you would play it again. Maybe I'll just do a random session of it also during the course of the week just to break stuff up. Okay? That's kind of what I'm thinking for now. And then the late night streams moving forward this month will be a balance of the continuation of Fire Emblem and Paper Mario and some variety thrown in there with things like old school Street Fighter and Animal Crossing. Okay? Now, once I finally beat one of the major games that I'm playing, like let's say I finish Ghost of Tsushima within the next week to 2 weeks, that's going to leave an opening in the daytime streams. There's nothing going on in the realm of new releases this month until the end of the month. There's actually going to be a few things at the end of this month, including a Samurai Jack game that I'm on the fence about, a Battletoads game that I'm on the fence about, and a DLC for Control that's going to feature the plotline and characters of Alan Wake, which is really cool because they basically, both games take place in the same universe, and I really enjoyed Alan Wake back in the day. But I'm on the fence about that too. There's like basically 3 things going on this month that I don't know if I want to do or not. The only thing this month that's definitely happening is Don't Nod came out with a new game, a narrative-based game. That is very well. From what I've seen, the gameplay elements are similar to Life is Strange. That doesn't mean the game is like Life is Strange. It's called Tell Me Why, and that starts near the end of the month, and it's basically episodic. Every week there's supposed to be a new episode for 3 straight weeks. So I'm gonna check that out. But outside of that, there's really not much going on this month in games. So another thing I'm considering doing is Batman Arkham City Remastered, which also came in 3rd place in the Viewer's Choice polls. That could be a playthrough that we can do once we wrap up Ghost of Tsushima and want to do something for variety. We can wedge that in there, okay? And so it could be a balance between Batman and Nier on the daytime streams with maybe some variety with like Fall Guys, and the nighttime streams of the continuation of the things I've already mentioned, okay? So it should be fun. It should be fun. It should be interesting. I hope you guys think this sounds good for the month. Alright, keep in mind, things can always adjust on the fly at any time if new stuff happens or whatever. But for now, that's kind of what I'm looking at for the rest of this month. And thanks for listening. And thanks for, tuning in. Big D's, apparently you don't pay attention, because he says, what about Divinity Original Sin 2? I've already explained. Yes, it did win the Viewer's Choice poll. I cannot play multiple lengthy RPGs at once. Once I finish up Fire Emblem, we'll consider the start of Divinity Original Sin 2. But I can't do it now. I'm not doing 2 RPGs at once and have everyone complain about 2 lengthy RPGs. By the way, Paper Mario is also kind of an RPG. So, no, it's not happening. I've already explained this. It will happen in the future. It's not happening now. Okay? Lipsian says, well, what about bringing Fire Emblem to a few earlier, longer streams once I wrap up Ghost of Tsushima? Let me put it this way. It's possible. It's a consideration. But I'm not going to confirm it or deny it. I'll have to think about it. Because I know the Fire Emblem streams do not really bring in attendance. And people complain whenever I play the game. Which sucks, because people should not complain. They should just say, okay, Phil's playing something on this stream I don't like. I'll come back later. I mean, look at the variety of stuff I'm doing this week. Destroy All Humans, Fall Guys, Avengers, Animal Crossing, Street Fighter, Paper Mario, and Fire Emblem. If that's not an insane variety of games... Oh, by the way, Ghost of Tsushima. That's what I mean. I'm a variety streamer. Every stream I'm doing something completely different, and I pride myself on that because everyone has something to watch. So to complain that I'm playing an RPG is kind of ridiculous when if you come back in a few hours, I'll be playing something completely different, right? So let me put it this way. I personally am not against playing Fire Emblem as a long stream. But sadly, when I do it, because I have done it in the past, people complain. Oh, I want something else. This is stupid. Why are you doing this? So, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. In reality, I think I'll actually want to jump right into Batman because it'll be an action-based game to balance off with the slower-paced games like Mario and Fire Emblem. See? So, it is what it is. We shall see, okay? We shall see. Alright. So that's the schedule, guys. Outside of that, really there was like no gaming news or anything much going on today. A lot of nonsense on Twitter. Nothing in particular too interesting. Honestly, just taking a look. No real game news going on. Nothing at all really to talk about. So I guess we're just gonna jump right into shoutouts because I just don't see much of anything to talk about. Okay. All right. All right. By the way, Papa John's has a new Choose Any 2 deal, if anyone's interested. They only send me about 4 emails a day about their nonsense. Okay, so let's get started with shoutouts, guys. First of all, Golden Colts did a few cheers. First one, he sliced fresh mozzarella, and the next one he said, glorious cherry tomatoes. Sounds good. Sounds like the ingredients of like a fresh bruschetta or something like that. That sounds pretty delicious. I hope that's what it is. I hope he's not, I don't know, robbing a grocery store. Okay. Friendly Blossom 18 has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Friendly Blossom, for the sub. I appreciate that. Then Golden Cold shirt again. And he says, Heinz Mayo Chup Easy Squeeze Bottle. Mayo Chup. That is mayo and ketchup mixed together, if I'm not mistaken. What's funny about this is that already exists. It's called Thousand Island Dressing, except Thousand Island Dressing, they also add in some relish. And some people don't realize this. This is also the secret to McDonald's secret sauce. It's just a thicker whipped Thousand Island style dressing. That's the secret sauce at McDonald's. So, it's funny that they sell it as mayo chup when it's exactly the same thing without the relish. And in reality, I used to make this myself when I was a kid. My mom used to serve us various different things to eat for dinner. And sometimes I'd like ketchup. Sometimes I would like mayonnaise or even Miracle Whip. And then sometimes I'd be a weirdo and I'd mix shit together. And I realized that mixing the ketchup with either the mayonnaise or the Miracle Whip tasted really good. So I actually, by accident as a kid, discovered this mayo chup / Thousand Island, whatever you want to call it. And I had it with all kinds of different things. I remember having it, of all things, I had it with like meat, like kibasi. My mom would make a Polish kibasi, and I would dip the kibasi in the mayo chup to eat it. And some people are going to freak out and be like, that's disgusting. Yeah, I know. Well, things are weird when you're a kid. You do weird shit. Okay? Obviously, I wouldn't do this now. I would just want to eat the tasty kibasi. Or maybe put, now, like today, I'd probably put it in like a spicy mustard or something. I wouldn't freaking put it in mayo chup. Right? But anyway, yeah, mayo chup. Anyway, let's continue. Midnight Syndicate is here and tip $2. Thank you, Midnight Syndicate, for a $2 tip. Let's get you up on the leaderboard as the first tipper of the day. There we go. So I should say and should explain, even though today we are going to be switching over from one game to another, this is still going to be considered like one stream. And we will have a tips goal and try to continue the vest streak, but it will all count towards the one stream, basically starting now and up till 4 p.m. Even though there will be a break for me to switch games and everything, that's okay. It's going to be the same. Everything's going to count towards that. It's not like, oh, he's going to play Destroy All Humans and count that as a stream and then reset everything. No. No. This is all considered all one streaming session that we're doing right now. So if you tip, it'll count towards the tips goal for the vest streak. Thank you to anyone considering contributing today. Keep in mind that contributions are not mandatory on my streams. I'm perfectly happy to just hang out with you guys on a daily basis and have a good time playing games. But for those who like to contribute, thanks so much. Not only have you guys, really helped me out this year, kept things afloat, you're helping me out to get out of a financial rut that I've been in. And, it's actually looking up that, like, if things stay as good as they've been, okay, for the foreseeable future, I can maybe start to do improvements to the business. Once I get to pass this stupid back taxes thing that I'm still waiting on, as soon as that's done, then I can start thinking, okay, here's what I have money-wise. Maybe I can get rid of this stupid love seat and get a chair and set up a green screen and maybe do some more improvements. Some people said maybe a new webcam or something. Yeah, I could look to do that possibly by the end of the year. Hey, maybe I can afford the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, right? But it's you guys and your support that's allowed this to happen. Thank you so much for the positivity this year. This Vest streak, 226 streams. That's insane. And by the way, I should call this out. We are on pace to hit the 250 Vest streak celebration. If we keep this up, it'll happen in 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. All right? And that Vest celebration will feature a few things. Number one, a live DSP tries it, which we need to start talking about what you guys want to see as a live DSP tries it, because I don't know what to do, and I want to know if you guys have any ideas. Perhaps there will be some kind of a special debut. I'm not promising that yet. I need to look into it. There will definitely be a Q&A session where we just kind of hang out and talk for a while, because I actually didn't really do that last time around. And maybe gameplay. You guys have been saying maybe do some gameplay, and maybe if Fall Guys works, we can do some Fall Guys stuff or something like that. We'll see. All right. We shall see. All right, guys. So that's coming up in 2 weeks if we can keep the Vest streak going. So please consider tipping if you can. Thank you for those who have supported the streams over the last 4.5 months and kept this positivity wave going. I appreciate that. All right, continuing on. Hail Hydra 04 has tipped me $1 with the inside scoop on the Avengers beta. Are you guys ready? All right, here's the inside scoop. He says, number one, Hulk is ass. Okay. Ms. Marvel is high tier. Also, the servers are messed up. Oh, that's just delightful. That's just really nice to know that I got a code to play it, and maybe it'll be fucked up tomorrow. That just really reinvigorates me to play it. Oh, my God. Anyway, he's also rocketed. You mean Rocksteady? Announced there's a new Batman game of Suicide Squad where you fight the Justice League. Yes, we talked about that yesterday. And I gave my impressions in a nutshell. I'm not sold that the Justice League... Excuse me. Let me try that again. I'm not sold that the Suicide Squad is a notable enough group of characters to sell a game. If this were the Justice League, oh my God. Can you imagine playing as The Flash, the Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Hawkman, or Hawkwoman, whichever they decide to put in the game, because the cartoon had Hawkwoman, or Hawkgirl, Superman. Can you imagine playing as all those characters in one game and fighting all of their, trademark villains and crossover events and stuff? That would be amazing. They're not doing that. They decided they want Suicide Squad. A bunch of B-list nobodies who, when they made a movie about them, no one really cared. The movie did okay, meaning it made money, but it didn't nearly make as much as they wanted, to the point where they scrapped plans to continue making DC Universe movies like that. Okay? So, why are they making a game of Suicide Squad? I have no idea, and I even said this yesterday. Unless they're going to do a what-if scenario, like, oh, this is not mainstream DC at all, there's zero chance that they're going to kill any of the Justice League, right? Zero. The Justice League doesn't die to Suicide Squad, ever. So it's kind of stupid, right? I don't see the point. I wished it was a Justice League game, but I don't know what's going on over there. They're making a Suicide Squad game. By the way, I'm not saying that Rocksteady isn't a great game developer. They are, and I would even go as far to say I guarantee you the production values and the gameplay will be good. I can definitely see this be a good game where it's like a variety of characters that all play differently. You got Deadshot doing sniping and that kind of stuff, while you got Killer Croc doing stealth and melee attacking, and maybe someone with magical powers. Did Captain Boomerang just be a waste of time? But anyway, it could be pretty good, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. I wish it was Justice League. Okay. Alright, Save the Pig the Game did a 500-bit cheer asking about a New England clam chowder flavored popsicle or another full Persona playthrough, which is worse. Well, why would either of those things be bad? New England clam chowder is good. Wait a minute, let me think about that. Manhattan clam chowder is the red one, right? And that's the one... What the hell happened here? That's the one that kind of tastes tomatoey, right? New England clam chowder is the creamy one. And that one is the one that has bacon and potatoes in it. They're both good. So, a clam chowder flavored popsicle wouldn't necessarily... By the way, your name's way too fucking long, so I have to abbreviate it. It would be... Save the Pig the Game. There you go. Sorry I had to abbreviate your name. It's way too long. But yeah, like, I don't think that would be bad. Then he says, another run in Persona. I don't think that would be bad either. Persona games are good. Now, maybe redoing a Persona game. Yeah, maybe I already played one and they're so long and drawn out. Maybe that would be a little bit not as fun. But, I think, I don't think that would be so bad, either one. How about that? I think that you're being over dramatic here. How about that? Xbox One is garbage. Has tipped me. Now, what they're saying here is kind of personal. And I don't necessarily want to read this out. All I will say is, I wish you the best, and, you know, I hope you feel better. Because I don't want to read this out. It's kind of a personal, sorry, it's kind of a personal thing to be saying on a stream, and especially if this is true what he's telling me here. I don't want him to feel bad, so. Alright, so thank you for the dollar tip. Xbox One is garbage. I hope you feel better, okay? Jesse Lee Peterson tipped $1.30. He says, beta keys are for betas, beta males. What about beta fish? What's wrong with that? Fat Man in My Phone tipped $1.30. He says, what was planned more poorly, the DC Cinematic Universe or Disney Star Wars? I'm going to go with the DC Cinematic Universe. Disney Star Wars had a plan that it was going to be a trilogy. They had it laid out. The problem was the plot wasn't finished, and then the movies jumped not only by directors, but also the plot changed halfway through what they were planning to do, which fucked everything up. If they had had an established plot for what they were doing, it would have been a lot better. And yeah, the Disney Star Wars universe didn't follow what previously had been considered canon plot. Like, for example, Han and Leia were supposed to have Jedi twins that then were separated, and I believe they were trained in different places so that basically the Empire or the Sith couldn't find them. And I thought, oh, that's definitely going to be Rey and Kylo Ren, right? No, of course not. No, why would they do that? That would be good. They got to fuck it up. So, anyway, that's what happens in Hollywood these days. But the DC Cinematic Universe, I don't think they ever had a plan for it. I think they just had a bunch of anomalous ideas in their heads that they wanted to make into films. Like, they knew they wanted a film where it was Batman versus Superman. They didn't know who was going to play the actors. They didn't know what the plot was going to be. They just wanted Batman versus Superman on the big screen. Okay? And then they wanted a Justice League movie. They didn't necessarily want to set up a world that was believable or fun. They just wanted a Justice League movie. See? And so then they try to fill in the pieces. Oh, we're going to get a director. We're going to get a plot. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then everything just explodes and falls the fuck apart. It was just a mess. You know? Definitely was not done well. I think that the DC universe was more... At least with the Star Wars trilogy, you always knew it was a trilogy. You knew what to expect somewhat. While with the DC, it was just a fucking jumbled mess. Oh, we're going to release a couple Batman movies, right? Like, or excuse me, a couple Superman movies. Man of Steel and then Batman versus Superman. And then we're going to release Wonder Woman. And then we're going to do, like, Aquaman, but then there's going to be a Justice League movie. It's just so weird. Suicide Squad in there somewhere, but doesn't... has the same Batman, but doesn't really tie to anything. It's so fucking bizarre. So anyway, yeah, DC's more of a mess than Star Wars, in my opinion. Oh my god, pneumoconiosis. Timmy $3 said they probably were going to be a surprise Batman Court of Owls game at DC Fandom. Don't worry about your progression. It'll be reset when the game is out. What? Huh? Alright, I understand the Court of Owls part. What the hell was that second half? I'm so confused. Anyway, Neps $50 million said, what's the best Harry Potter movie? Oh, man. Out of all of the movies? I think, like, the first 3 movies are pretty good. I do, like, the first one obviously sets the tone of the universe, lays out the criteria. But then you've got a few other movies that are pretty neat there, too. The Chamber of Secrets is good till the end. Like, I like the Chamber of Secrets because you got, like, the maps. They're going through the hallways at night and stuff, sneaking around. There's a mystery element to it. I don't like the end where they fight a stupid snake. It's so dumb. Alright, it says the stupidest ending. The Prisoner of Azkaban is good, too. Azkaban, or whatever the fuck it is. Where you have the werewolf element, and there's another mystery element of who's who. It's like a whodunit, who's who kind of a thing. I like the plot of that one a lot. I think that later on, the movies kind of take a different tone where the kids are growing up and becoming kind of teenagers, and so now it's more of a different plot line of that. And in reality, like, that kind of takes away from the whole wizarding plot line of the original movies, because now it's more about stupid teen angst shit. And a lot of it feels rushed, too. Like, some of the later movies, it doesn't feel like things are developed well enough. But anyway, I don't know. I saw the first, like, 3 to 4 movies a bunch of times. And then the last ones I only saw, like, once. So I'd have to go rewatch them all in order to really give it a valid opinion on this question. That's just me off the top of my head talking out of my butt. Okay? I like the first 3 movies. Golden Colts Charity says, King Oscar Wilde caught sardines with zesty tomato sauce. Sounds delicious. Actually, I've never eaten a sardine in my life, so I have no idea if sardines are any good. Eternal Napalm Charity said, it'd be cool to see you do a DSP tries it that doesn't involve food. For instance, a DSP tries it where you go to PetSmart and you hold a ball python. They don't even allow that, dude. You cannot go to a pet store and hold an animal unless you're going to buy it because of the coronavirus. And I wouldn't do that anyway. I appreciate the suggestion, but that's just a wild one. No, I'm not going to go to a local pet store, film in the pet store, and hold a snake. What is going on here? No. This is not Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Okay, I'm sorry. Thanks for the suggestion. Angelo Bestia. Timmy $5 says, can you explain the Kingdom Hearts plot for us from start to finish? Yes. So, Square Enix had the genius idea, alright, that they wanted to make money with an RPG franchise based solely on a licensing deal rather than the actual quality of the franchise. So they paid a lot of money to have Disney characters in their RPGs. Now, not to say that the games weren't good, because they are pretty good. At least Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, I actually really enjoy. But what they did is they saw how much money they could generate, like dirty, filthy money. Like, imagine if you could make a game and that game generated a money printer in your house that would just shoot out $100 bills constantly. That's pretty much what they stumbled upon with the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So what they decided to do was, instead of actually making quality sequels and games, they pumped out a bunch of spin-offs that insanely convoluted the plot on purpose, so you'd have to continuously buy more semi-sequels and spin-offs to make any sense of anything. Okay? But what this is, they created a monster with this. They created a giant monster by the name of Convolution. And by making the universe so convoluted that when they finally made Kingdom Hearts 3, there was no possible way that the game could please anyone, because you had to resolve 4,000 plot lines, 4 million characters that most people don't even understand unless they've played 14 different spin-off games. And then on top of that, because they were forced to put such an emphasis on the plot, they didn't really do much with the combat, and the game ended up being insanely, like, boringly easy. Okay? So, in my opinion, the story of Kingdom Hearts is one of brilliant idea that sadly just got sucked into the bowels of greed, and it ruined the entire franchise. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 could have been the ultimate culmination of everything built, and instead it ended up being disappointed to almost everybody who played the game because they were looking for something more. And that's the story of Kingdom Hearts from start to finish. Thanks for the tip. Film producer PW Dubs to the $1.30 and says, Batman may be considered problematic for overseas release. Can we rename it to Large Misshapen Ratman for the glory of China? That was stupid. Manx tipped $1, and Manx says, it's funny how hard DC Universe tried to get a cinematic universe when Godzilla and King Kong recently kind of just did by accident. Well, King Kong, I don't even know what you mean. Because there was a King Kong movie by Peter Jackson, and then they did another spin-off that I never even saw. Was it King Kong on Skull Island or something? I never saw that one. So, I don't know about that. Godzilla did what? How many movies has Godzilla had now? 2? 1? I remember Godzilla had a reboot. Right? And that movie was okay. Did they make another one? I don't even know. Did they? Did they make a second Godzilla? I'm talking about the reboot. They did make a second one? Did anyone see it? I know Godzilla's been in 84 movies. I'm talking about the reboot that they just did to make a cinematic universe. King of Monsters? Godzilla King of the Monsters was 2019. That movie came out? Holy shit, I didn't even know that movie came out. I'm serious. I had no clue. I knew it was being made. I had no idea the movie ever came out. I don't think anyone ever mentioned it, like, on my streams or anything. Holy shit. Really? That one went right over my head. Anyway. So, I don't know. I don't know about Godzilla and King Kong having modern cinematic universes. I don't know about that. Lies of Her Soul. To me, $20. That is the biggest tip of the day. Thank you, Lies of Her Soul. Let's go ahead and get you on the leaderboard first of all before we read your message. Lies of Her Soul. Okay. Thank you very much for the $37 in tips already. Awesome, guys. Alright, so he says, regarding Suicide Squad, if they go up against the Justice League, depending on who they pick, it could be amazing. Deathstroke, Black Manta. That's not Deathstroke. I thought that it was Deadshot, not Deathstroke. Black Manta. Yeah, Black Manta was one. El Diablo, yes. Killer Croc, yes. King Shark. I don't know about who that is. And Deadshot. Oh, okay, so I guess both Deathstroke and Deadshot have been in the Suicide Squad? They're like the same character. But anyway, there could be some interesting matchups there people haven't seen. Okay, then. Thank you for the tip. Biggest Dickus to me $4.20 and made a very not funny joke about gender reassignment surgery. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 2020. And in the year of 2020, we all have to have a very open mind and a liberal attitude. And the fact that someone would think that it's funny to joke about gender reassignment surgery on my stream, I find, quite frankly, offensive. And so all I'm going to say is, Biggest Dickus, thank you for the $4.20 tip. Let's move on. Mr. Majisplik, I forget how to pronounce his name. This is an actual villain in the DC universe who has no vowels in his name. I think it's like Mr. Majisplik or something like that it's pronounced. And he took $1, says the Avengers beta progression doesn't carry over to the main game. Did you watch the new Bug Snacks trailer? It looks like Ghost of Tsushima. No, I did not see the Bug Snacks trailer. I've heard it's first person, but I didn't really see any gameplay of it. Okay. Blanca Balls. To me, $1.30 says Dictator has a touch of death combo. I saw last week how Bison locked a Blanca in the corner indefinitely with repetitive knees, which allows you to run the clock. OP or not. Depends on the matchup. That's the thing. Just like anything in Super Turbo, it really depends on the matchup. Bison has very advantageous matches and has very unadvantageous matches, for sure. Bison has a major problem with getting out of traps and out of a corner because he has no true reversal. Unlike a character that, say, maybe has a Shoryuken, or, for example, DJ has the up kicks. He has no... Oh, Vega has the flip kick. He has no move that will blow through someone else's move as a reversal and get him out of a corner situation at all. So once Bison is locked in the corner, he is locked in the corner for the game unless the other player fucks up. Okay? That's his major disadvantage. But Bison has many advantages, and one of them, yes, is the ability to walk forward and constantly pressure with kicks, the knees or the kicks. And certain characters really don't have an answer for it. For example, Blanca has to block almost non-stop. The only thing Blanca can do is try to charge down and then at the right moment try to do an upwards ball with kick, and it could trade or sometimes blow through what Bison's doing. The problem is, when you do Blanca ball from point blank range, he bounces straight up even if it hits, and that leaves him wide open to get counter hit anyway. So maybe he'll get out of the corner temporarily, but then he gets hit afterward, and now he's back in the corner. So I know people in the stream chat are going to sleep. They say, why are you talking about this? Well, because he asked, okay? So Bison is a good character, but he's still considered mid-tier because he has no reversal. If Bison actually had a true reversal to get out of lockdown situations, he'd be probably top tier, but he doesn't have one. And in fact, that's why Bison is one of the weakest characters against grapplers. He has no way to get away from them. If they trap him in the corner, he can't get out. He's fucked. So there you go. Okay. Timbo Slice. Cheers. He says, I'm starting to wonder if WWE will ever recover from COVID. Then I'll have a third hour of Raw being Raw Underground with no ropes on the ring and low-card guys fighting like a Street Rules fighting. WWE is so bad at this point. I don't know what to say. I seriously don't even want to comment. I didn't see it. I know it exists. I saw it on social media. If I probably saw it, I'd probably, like, hate it. But since I haven't seen it, I can't criticize it. And at this point, I haven't watched wrestling since April, so there you go. Inattentive P-Dubs to the $1.30 and says, hey, Phil, did you hear about some popular game called Fall Guys? Everyone's talking about it. You should try it later. Now, I never heard about it. This is the first I've heard, so... You know, people want to see me play it, you should ask me to do it. And maybe I'll check it out at some point. Okay? Alright. Thank you, guys. Let's do some shout-outs for those who have contributed so far this week. Thank you to top cheers of the week. We've got Timbo Slice GB in 10th place. Ninstar Rune in 9th. We've got a tie for 7th between Mature Adult and Golden Colts. In 6th place, we've got Spartan King. We got a tie for 4th between Dinosaur and Jay Hale. In 3rd place, it's Sambuca 2020. 2nd place, Only Iced Coffee. And in 1st place, Shout Out the Hedgehog. Thank you guys for the cheers. Also, thank you to the following people who have all gifted subscriptions to the channel this week. We've got Kashmir Go, D-Train12, and Lunaba, who all gifted a single subscription. We got Big D Purple Goon, who gifted 2 subs to the channel. Frenolith, who gifted 4 subscriptions to the channel. And Only Iced Coffee, who gifted a whopping 17 subs so far to the channel this week. Speaking of which, I've completely forgotten to mention this the past couple of days. We do have a sub goal for this month, 825 subs. If we hit 825 concurrent subs at any point during the month of August, we're going to be doing a gaming marathon to be determined what it is because you guys are going to vote. It's going to be either an indie marathon, a rage-a-thon, or a classic gaming marathon that's going to be like platformers like Mario. Like, think of me trying to beat Super Mario 1 and 2 in a marathon setting. Those games are pretty damn tough to beat quickly, okay? And I've never played them. I've actually never played Super Mario Bros. 1 or Super Mario 2 The Lost Levels, ever, for the internet. Not once. So that would be pretty neat, I think. So if we hit it, if we hit the sub goal of 825 subs, you guys vote on which one of those 3 you want to see. And then once it's determined, then you guys can nominate games for it, okay? So that's pretty cool. Meppy tipped me $1 and says, you got captured by evildoers. What would your escape plan be? What would my escape plan be if I was captured by evildoers? This sounds like some hypothetical comic book plot line. If I were actually kidnapped by people in real life, it would probably be a insanely fucked up situation that would scar me for life. It would probably ruin my psyche and my, I'd probably have mental illness because of it. And, I mean, would I survive? I don't know. Who would rescue me? Who would come and rescue me from a kidnapping situation? Who would even kidnap me? Right? Like, who would kidnap me? I'm not worth it. What a fucked up question. Man, you're a messed up person, you know that? Anyway, Deadpool tipped $1, says they're only different in who they are and their abilities. Deadshot's a man named Floyd, a supervillain and anti-hero who's the leader of a Task Force X. Deathstroke is a man named Slade, a supervillain and occasionally an anti-hero. Deadpool out. Yes, but in their abilities, they're almost the same. They're both supposed to be like gun-toting, mercenary-style guys who are really good at shooting. So, PW Dub's father tipped $1.30 and says, my worthless son here. He better not be before I beat his ass. Wow, that's hilarious. What's hilarious is you guys are still talking about PW Dubs. Like, talk about living rent-free in some people's minds that they just fucking keep talking about this dude. I haven't talked about him in, like, weeks. But some of you just, like, wow. Obsession. Right? Ludacris tipped $1.30 and says, Derek says that Raw Underground is run by Shane McMahon. Also, I can't wait for Fall Guys later in the stream today. Fall Guys, isn't that a new game that someone just mentioned in a tip? Oh, okay. Thank you for the tip. Ludacris. Alright, guys, well, unless anyone else has any questions or there any more contributions, it looks like that will be the end of our pre-stream today. Oh, wait a minute. Hostage Negotiator P-Dubs. Here we go again with the P-Dubs. Tipped $1.30 and says, when cornered by aggressors, remember to pull your shirt over your face and ball yourself up on the floor. There you go. Very exciting. Alright, guys. I think it's time to take a break. I'm going to go use the restroom. When we come back, it's time to finish up Destroy All Humans for however long that takes. And then once that's done, we're going to finally swap over and try out this Fall Guys viral sensation sweeping the world and see if it's any good. Alright? So let's take a break. And I'll be back with Destroy All Humans. Thanks. I'll see you in a few.